I hear a lot from my clients. How do I know my spirit guides are talking to me? How do I know that my intuition is talking to me? How do I know if the spirit's trying to contact me? How do I know? And in this episode, I am going to give you some very practical, simple ideas and tools to dive into on your own to see, is there a spirit trying to communicate with you? Are you getting signs from your spirit guides? Are you connected to your higher self and your intuition? And start using these things to see, are these actually happening in your life? And maybe you're a little bit more connected than. Welcome to the Soul Alignment Mentor Podcast. I'm your host, Angie, and I'm inviting you to explore the depths of self-sabotage, limiting mindsets, and the beliefs that hinder our progress in life. Through intuitive messages I receive from my spirit team, I share profound insights to help you live authentically and break free from these limitations. Join me now as we uncover all the keys to living your best life. Welcome back. My name is Angie, and I am your Soul Alignment Mentor, bringing you intuitive messages from my spirit team to help you align with your most authentic and highest self. So I get it. I totally get it. Like, is my higher self talking to me? Is this my intuition? Is this my ego? Is my spirit team talking to me? Is there a spirit trying to contact me? I get these questions all the time. And I will get people that message me on all of my platforms saying, was this a spirit? Or they'll send me a picture and say, is this a spirit? Or who is this? Or what is this? And I usually can tune in to give a little bit of clarity for them on what they're connected with and what they're feeling and what they're hearing, or maybe even what they're seeing. But I want to be able to empower you to be able to do that on your own. Now, I have taught a few mediumship courses, and these are very beginner mediumship courses. They are not in-depth, and they provide a little bit of information for you to begin this journey on your own. It's a 7-week course. I'm not offering it currently, but in the future, I may offer it again when I feel spirit is calling me to do that. But since that is not something I'm offering right now, I'm going to give you what I teach in this episode in a very little way. I cannot teach it all in one episode, or I can't give you all this information because it is a lot. And I know you are going to have questions as you go along your journey and trying to learn these things. So let me start with the very first and basic thing I teach all of my clients. You have got to be still. And the reason stillness is so important is because you cannot hear when your life is chaotic. You cannot connect with energy or things outside of your own energetic field if you don't even know what stillness feels like. So the first step is to begin to calm your nervous system. Allow yourself to feel safe in your own body, in your own skin, in your own mind. And that is through meditation. That is through sitting with yourself over and over and over and over, even when it's uncomfortable. And I guarantee you it's going to be uncomfortable. And why is it uncomfortable? Because we're not used to this. Because sitting in our own energy, in our own thoughts, in our own mind is not fun, because then we start to see things. Then we start to realize things. And they can be really uncomfortable to see and realize at times. But this is always going to be the very first step that I encourage you to do. You have to know your own energy to be able to pick up the subtle frequencies and energies around yourself that are moving and talking to you and supporting you at all times. It is not that some of us have more support than others. It is simply that we're not as fully connected because we might be a little bit more focused on our human life than our connection with our spiritual life. Now, there always needs to be a balance in this. I do not walk around in my life looking for spirits to talk to. I don't get any messages when I go to the grocery store. I don't get messages while I'm just sitting and talking to a friend. I actually don't want to. I don't sit and try to read people psychically. There's once in a while a spirit will come to me and be like, hey, I have a message for this person. Will you please get it to me? Give it to them. And I will sit with that message and see, is this really something I need to share or not? And sometimes it is. Sometimes a spirit will come through to me and communicate, hey, will you tell so-and-so this? I'm trying to let them know, but they're not hearing. And it could be a friend of mine. or it could be a client. So it can happen that way, but that is not the purpose. You don't want to walk around having spirits talk to you all the time. That is exhausting. You need some energetic protection. You need to be able to shut this off and turn it on. And the way you begin to do that is by understanding your own frequency and your own energy. So here's a simple little practical tool that you can begin to do. I encourage you to find time to just sit and quiet. Try to make the atmosphere as quiet as possible. And I would even encourage not using meditation music or anything like that. If you feel like you need to, that is totally fine. Just make sure that it's not distracting you from connecting with your own energy. What you want to do is you want to sit in meditation. And I do also encourage sitting on a chair with your feet flat on the floor, sitting straight up so that your spine and your chakras are connected from above to below, from Mother Earth to Father Sky. And allowing yourself to begin to be present in your own energy field. Start to feel your energy. And if you've never done this before, it might take some time. So be patient with yourself. Don't expect to just sit down the first time and start feeling your energy. You might, but you might not. And this is why this is a practice. This is something you come back to over and over and over. And eventually it just becomes natural for you. So sit in your energy, feel your energy, feel the energy on your skin. Look at, feel the energy on your arm, feel your own aura. And then when you get to know your own aura, when you know your own energy, what it feels like, imagine and sense and feel through your mind that your energy field is expanding out and it's opening up larger and larger and larger and larger. And as your energy field begins to expand outward, imagine it begins to fill the entire room that you're in, maybe the entire house or whatever space you're in. And then your energetic field begins to open up to be able to welcome in other energetic, synchronicities or signs or shifts that can move into your energy field to then help you understand that connection with spirit. But you have to know what your energy feels like in order to feel an energy that's going to come into your energy field. So that is the first step. Know what your own energy feels like. How does it feel to sit with myself? What is going on in my mind? How do I feel in my body? What does it feel like to be in touch with my own energetic field? If you want to sit with me in meditation, feel free to schedule a session and I will help you do this. However, it is simply just practicing every single day. Once you've been able to practice your opening up your own energy, knowing your energy, expanding your own energy, that's when you will start to try to connect with your guides. That's when you will try to connect with a spirit that you maybe know has passed or transitioned on the other side. Allow yourself to believe. You have to allow that imaginary childlike belief to come right back up that you had as a kid. Without allowing yourself to believe, you cannot receive the connection that is coming in. And you may want every reason to try to figure out, is this real? Am I making this up? Or, did I hear, is that my own mind? I get it. Just trust what you receive. It may not make sense in the moment, but just keep coming back to it. Just keep asking. Just keep trusting. Allow your imagination to guide you through this process. And as you open up that energy field, ask your guides, ask the spirit, please step into my energy. Step towards me so I can feel your energy, shift my energy, so I know what your energy feels like versus my energy. This is the first step to connecting with subtle energies around you. Now, this also is going to help you learn how to protect your energy once you open up this field. And so work on that first. That is the very first step that I will always encourage people to focus on. And I do recommend doing this daily. And I know it's going to be hard at first. Just set aside 2 minutes to do it a day. then move up to 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, and work your way up to at least 15 minutes. And I guarantee you, if you do this over and over and over and over, you're not going to want to come out of that state because it's going to feel so good. And you may end up meditating for 30 minutes to an hour at times. But that doesn't have to be a daily practice. You don't have to do that every single day. This is simply about teaching yourself, teaching your ego, teaching your body to recognize subtle shifts in energy around you. Now, I'm going to get into a couple more things outside of that practice that might give you clues that your spirit team or your higher self or guides are trying to access you or communicate with you in some type of way. And I've written down a list so I don't forget to share some of these things. The very first thing is what I was just talking about, feeling energy that's not yours. You have to know what your energy feels like first to feel the energy that's not yours. And the more you understand this, you could be in the middle of a conversation and feel a sudden shift and know, oh, there's a spirit. If you've had a reading with me or you work with me in any capacity, you know I might be just having a conversation with you normally, or I might be doing a psychic reading for you. And all of a sudden, something shifts in my energy field and I feel something change because I know what my energy feels like. And when something comes in, I know that's not me. And so I pause and I check, is that my energy or is that a spirit's energy? And normally about 90% of the time, if I feel that subtle shift, it is a spirit coming to communicate with me. So I just pay attention to it. Now, this can come through sudden knowings or thoughts that pop in your mind. This could come in just some visual that pops in your mind. Maybe you start to think about something that, wait, that wasn't just in my mind, and that's not really connected to what I was just talking about. So what does that mean? Is that connected? Is that a message? So understanding how these things come in is going to give you the ability to know what to do with them. And one of the things I always encourage my clients that go through my mediumship school is trust even when it's wrong. You have to get things wrong before you get them right. And if we're too worried about getting things wrong, we'll never get them right. So if you're sitting with somebody trying to connect with the spirit for them and you get a message, say it. You might be wrong. Let them know, hey, I'm learning. I tell my clients all the time, I could be wrong, but this is what I'm receiving. This is how I'm receiving it. And you can interpret it for yourself, whether this is aligned with what you understand or not. But it doesn't mean anything about me when I get something wrong. It just means that I am trying to interpret an energy that is not mine, that's coming in to communicate. Another way that spirit will and can talk to you is through synchronization, by seeing repeated numbers, by connecting with a clock. Maybe you look at a clock every single day. I will tell you, my dad, who I lost in 2020 to cancer, communicates to me every single day. And it's always amazing how this happens. But I always see 1222 every single day. It doesn't matter what I'm doing or what time it is. I somehow will pick up my phone at that time, or I'll get up to go get a glass of water, or I'll be somewhere driving and then I'll just suddenly look down and it's 1222. And I always say, hey, Dad. And because I do that, that gives me a connection with my dad's spirit that I can attune with at any time because I'm acknowledging when he's there and when he's not. So look for those synchronizations in your life. Try not to question them. A lot of people want to put like synchronized numbers like 111, 222, 444 into angel numbers. And they absolutely 100% can be that. But this is why you need to understand energy to understand, is this a message from spirit about what that number means? Or is this synchronization that my higher self, my guides are guiding me with, telling me, yes, you're on the right path. Keep going. Keep synchronizing. Because when we are in tune with the universe, when we are in tune with energy, the energies around us will start to synchronize with our energy. And those numbers are simply just confirmation of that. Another thing is that you might have this sudden thought of like, I wonder what's going on with that person. And then the next day you run into them. Or you might be thinking about something and then it starts to happen, or it happens suddenly. And this is just simply you tuning into the energetic field around you that is telling you, hey, this is going to happen. It's almost like seeing the future before it happens. And that is a form of being psychic or connected to energy. And our higher self is always giving us these messages. We're just not always in tune with it, because our higher selves, one of its jobs is to keep us on the right path and keep us safe and keep us understanding how to connect with the path and the truth that we came here to live. Another thing is through songs, through lyrics. Does a random song come on and it begins to speak to you? Maybe there's a spirit coming to let you know, hey, I'm with you. And this was a song that reminded me of you, or you reminded you of me. That is a simple way spirit can communicate. Now, dreams and visions are a huge one, especially when our loved ones pass. We might have a dream about them. We might have a vision about them. I know I had several with my dad after he transitioned, and these are real. They are real experiences, and we can trust that they're real experiences, that our loved ones are coming through to communicate with us how they're doing, and maybe giving us a message, or just simply letting us know, I'm good, I'm okay, everything's perfect over here. It's a beautiful way that a spirit can come through our consciousness when we are in a sleeping place, when our ego is calm enough to be able to connect. And that is also why the meditation is so important, because the same state of connection we get in a dream is the same connection that we get in the meditative state. Another sign that a spirit might be trying to communicate with you is sudden emotional waves. Maybe you start feeling a certain emotion, you start tingling, you feel a sensation in your body or around you, or maybe the hair on your arm starts to stand up, you get goosebumps or chills. That could be a sign, if you're really sensitive to energy or things around you, that there's a spirit coming into your aura in some way that is trying to get your attention or showing up to bring you a message. So pay attention to those sudden shifts in your energy that might be trying to bring through a message for you. Another thing is you might hear ringing in your ears. You might hear buzzing. Something might come up in your awareness where the sounds in your ears or what you're hearing changes. And that usually can be a message from spirit. So if you're somebody that does get ringing in your ears, this is what I do when I start to get ringing. I just say, okay, I'm paying attention. And sometimes by just simply saying I'm paying attention, it might just leave and I may not get a message. But that is letting spirit know I am open to hearing. I'm open and willing to acknowledge that when I hear something, when I feel something, I know that there's something trying to come through for me. Let me see what else we have here. So another thing that you might notice, or that could happen, is I'm hearing spirit wanting to bring through something right now, is seeing things, like seeing symbols, seeing a billboard, seeing a sign, seeing something that kind of reciprocates or confirms a question that maybe you're asking about or you're wondering about, or if the spirit is trying to get you on a certain path or to do something. Those can be signs and symbols for you as well to help you on that path. Another thing is if you start to see flickering lights, your phone starts to act up, electronics turning off. I know there's been times where a TV has turned on or off for me, feeling like the energy in a room shifts, even like that causes electricity to start being different or weird. Those are all possible signs of spirit coming to communicate with you. Now, how do you understand what the message is? You go all the way back to the beginning where I first said, you get still. The only way we can hear something is if we're listening. And this goes the same with a connection in physical reality. If you're not being still, if you're not listening, engaging in the conversation by not talking, by making it that other person aware that I am here listening to you right now. I hear the words coming out of your mouth. That's what we have to do with spirit. You have to get still. You have to listen. And even if you don't think you can hear, trust that you are hearing. And you might hear the message and you may not know that you heard the message until later. Or it may sound like your own voice talking to you. But I can guarantee you that you can hear from spirit. You just have to practice. And using these tools will get you there where you can start doing so. Feel free to reach out to me if you would like support or help. If you are a healer looking for a safe place to begin to practice sharing your truth, showing up, come join my healer circle. If you are looking for a support group going through your spiritual awakening and ascension, I have my ascension membership and you're welcome to join that as well. Join them both. Come be in the healer circle and the ascension membership. Both are beneficial. Both are very reasonably priced. So if you are looking support, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm excited to meet you when you are ready for that. I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. I send you all the universal love. Namaste.